Thank you. So there I was, left alone with my own thoughts. Now, I could think about the past, the coulda, woulda, shouldas, wish I would have. I could think about how life done me wrong, or I could think about all the things I was grateful and all the things I went through. Or I could think about the future and all the dreams I have. Or I could take a breath and be fully present in the moment, allowing all the visions that I have to pull, being in that space of gratitude. So good morning. Tomorrow, my vision. No, today my talk is about letting the vision pull. Let the vision pull. You know, we get these visions, these intentions, these ideas for things that we want, and then we go this way, we go that way. I don't know about any of you, but sometimes I either make a bunch of plans and then I don't know, you got too much on your roster. And it's like, I don't even know how to do this. I got too much on my roster, too many things. Or we don't make any plan and just kind of let life throw us where it does, be like the ship out on the ocean without a course that's charted. So the waves will just take you here and there. Rather than setting and charting a course, having a vision, and then allowing the vision to change if it chooses, if you choose. But being in that moment, being in that space, being in that right here, right now. Because many times we can get into the thoughts of the past, and those could be the good, the bad, the ugly. We could think about all the future and, what if, either excited or a little fearful. Or we could bring ourselves right here to right now. Because when we get into those thoughts of maybe awfulizing, or thoughts of I don't know what and I'm afraid, or thoughts of I'm so excited, it's all part of life. However, if we can bring ourselves right back to the right here, right now, taking a deep breath in, breathing in the fullness of life, and knowing that my mind is in divine perfection, my heart is following its dreams, and just remembering to be fully present in the moment. Have any of you ever lost your keys or put something somewhere where it didn't? Yeah. We get so busy thinking about the past or the future that we forget to be in the moment. I remember my mother said she was unpacking groceries, and a few days later she thought, what happened to those new shoes I got? Well, she happened to be going through the freezer, and there were her shoes in the freezer. Sometimes we're so busy thinking about what was, what is, what might be, that being fully present in the moment is not something that we're doing all of the time. We're not fully present in the moment. And I'm sure we've all been in a conversation with somebody whose body was there, but their mind was somewhere else, distracted with a thought that pulls them away. So it's like bringing it back. In fact, the greatest gift we can give anyone is to be fully present in the moment. Making sure that we're aware, what visions are pulling, what things do I want to do, what makes my heart sing, and then let me be in that space of love and gratitude and listening to the messages. Because once in a while, you'll say, oh, I feel an attraction to that workshop or to that class or this book. And then we'll get it, and it's like being exactly what we needed to hear. Or I really feel like I need to call this person. And if we don't call them, then because our minds are powerful, normally the law of attraction, they will call us. You ever have that? I should call this person. And then they end up calling you. So being in the moment and having those visions in front of us and being mindful of our thoughts. I always say this is a very simple teaching, but it's not easy because it's about being mindful about what we're thinking about 24/7, 365. Am I paying attention to my thoughts? Did I pay attention to what I said? Because sometimes we say things that it's like, ugh, I want to take that back. I always say the Control-Alt-Delete so we can permanently delete some of those thoughts that have a tendency to go over and over and over. Ernest Holmes says this in this thing called You. The law of life is like a mirror. It reflects back to you the images of your thoughts in exactly the way you think them. Have you ever been with somebody and you're thinking, how did they get in my life? What were my thoughts that brought that to me or that situation, whether it be the person or the situation? Catherine Ponder, in her book, The Prospering Power of Love, talks about if you have someone in your experience that you're having challenges with, and you're having a hard time even doing a prayer or sending love to them, send love to their angel, to their spirit, to the energy that brought them forth. Because really, we're all one. And I want to have good thoughts about other people so I can continue to have good thoughts about myself. I know I had shared a long time ago when I first came here that during COVID and we were all quarantined, I watched RuPaul's Drag Race all the time, up on every episode. And one of the things that he says at the end of every show is, if you can't love yourself, how in the heck are you going to love somebody else? So the primary relationship is always with ourselves. I, once upon a time ago, went to Europe, and I went by myself because I've been the ultimate people pleaser, and I knew that I would be influenced by other people and what they wanted to do and where they wanted to go. I wanted to go where I wanted to go. So I went by myself, which terrified my sister. She just kept trying to call me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not hitting the pubs at night because I'm here by myself, but I had a great adventure. And I went exactly where I wanted to go and saw the things that I wanted to see on my own timeline. Now, could I have done that with other people? Absolutely. Was I at that point at that time to be able to keep myself in balance and honor myself? No, not so much. And I knew that about myself. So it's like, how can I love, honor, and cherish myself right where I am? And in order to do that, it's a daily practice. It's when we're looking in the mirror, we're saying nice things to ourselves. It's when we're doing something and we make a mistake that we forgive ourselves quickly, lovingly, and let it go. It's keeping those visions in front. Now, what I've learned about people, about myself, and about experience is that people have a tendency to work harder to stay away from the pain than they do to get to the vision. There's this wonderful statement, the pain pushes until the vision pulls. Sometimes we're in that comfort zone, and we just stay there and stay there and stay there until it gets uncomfortable enough that we finally move to the vision. I just think, wouldn't it be nicer just to keep that vision in front of me and just keep moving towards it? And I know in some areas of my life I got that handled, and in some areas I just kind of sit in the comfort zone until it gets a little painful. And part of that is noticing, how am I feeling today? How am I doing? Honoring that relationship with yourself and checking in. How are you doing today? Are you happy? Have you let go of thoughts that are not feeding your soul? Have you kept a vision in front of you? Have you talked about to yourself things that you're grateful for? I'm so grateful that I can walk. I'm so grateful that years ago I decided my life was going to be in comfortable shoes because I found that uncomfortable shoes really did not work for me. I would see people at airports with high heels on, and it's like, why would you do that to yourself? Let's be comfortable. Let's have a life that feels good to us. And maybe those people that wear the high heels and don't mind doing that in an airport or somewhere else, maybe that's comfortable to them. I don't know, I don't think so, but that's my reality. So in this space where we get to create our own reality, and that's the good news and the bad news. Thoughts are things, we create our own reality. And that was one of the best things I heard when I came to this teaching. It's like, yes, oh, really? So some reality that I've created maybe wasn't my favorite or the best. However, we just keep on moving and learning and growing and being in that adventure of life. There's a story, once upon a time, where there were some wonderful creatures that were living in the bottom of this wonderful crystal river. And they were clinging to the edges because they knew if they let go, that the rocks would surely hit them and beat them up. And one of the creatures said, I really just want to let go because I'm just here, I'm bored, I'm in this just being comfortable here, but it's becoming very uncomfortable. And all the other creatures said, no, the river will just whisk you on. It'll take you down somewhere that we don't even know, and it could be very dangerous. And he said, no, I really want to just let go. So finally he let go, and the crystal river just took him on down, healed every part of his being that had been beaten up by the river until he lifted up and was healed and flew. And all the other creatures talked to this great being this great creature that let go and was able to fly and lift above. Well, we're all those creatures. And the creature that had lifted up, that had healed, he said, I am no better than anyone else. I just let go and trusted the flow of life. So trusting the flow of life, going with the current. I was thinking about this story because as we let go and go with the current, there's been a lot of things in life. I mean, we went through COVID, still going through COVID. It's like the lingering things. But we came through it, and I feel collectively that it's been something that we've all created on some level, because people that I worked with used to say, oh, I wish I just had more time. I wish I could just spend more time at home. I wish I could just be at home and meditate more, just be there and just hang out with my family, until then it happened and they had to be quarantined with their family. So I know that divine things are happening, and it's the undercurrent of everything that's happening in life, the co-collective of our thoughts. How many of you have read or are familiar with The 100th Monkey? Anybody? Okay, so it's a story from way back in the 70s, and we used to talk about it all the time in Science of Mind. It was one of my favorite stories because I really love it. It talks about critical mass. And when we reach a certain number of people all thinking in the same direction, then there's a shift. So this story was written back in the 70s by Ken Keyes. It's a little book called The 100th Monkey. And he talks of scientists that were studying all these little monkeys on a remote island. And every day they'd roll out some sweet potatoes for the monkeys, and the monkeys would eat the sweet potatoes, spitting out the sand. Well, one day, one of the sweet potatoes ended up in the water. And one of the little monkeys realized that if it's washed off and there's no sand on it, it's so much better. So he started telling his little monkey family and his little monkey friends until it reached the 100th monkey, or the critical mass. And all of a sudden, monkeys all over the world were washing off their sweet potatoes. A friend of mine, Carl Anthony, wrote a wonderful song called The 100th Monkey. Monkey see, monkey do, the 100th monkey could be you. It's that critical mass when we reach a number of collective thoughts where we're all thinking love, peace, harmony. The 100th monkey will help us make that shift. And I don't know what the critical mass number actually is, but there's been great books written on the tipping point. When something reaches this many people thinking that way, then all of a sudden it's a shift. And so our importance to the universe, any one of us could be that tipping point, that 100th monkey. So the more we love, honor, cherish ourselves and stay in harmony, the more we affect the universe, the planet, everything in life. So honoring ourselves, going with the flow, keeping those visions in front. And when we enter into those conversations about the news or this or that, it's like, am I affecting the world in a good way? Am I affecting the world in a negative way? How can I step to the next level in lifting up? How can I be that little creature that goes with the flow of love and gratitude? Ernest Holmes says this in this thing called You is like my favorite little book. You can download it as a free PDF and just print it off. It's in most of the bookstores. Ours is out right now, so I'm going to make sure that we order more. We are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there is a flowing through us, a creative something. Call it what you will. There's that creative presence that flows through us. And when I think of meditation, I think of sitting and getting plugged in. It's like I don't have to know how electricity works. I just know that if I don't plug in the light, it's not going to turn on. It's the same thing with me when I sit down into meditation. Let me let go of all the things. Sometimes I have to physically brush off the thoughts from my head, whatever I'm carrying, whatever's on my heart. Let it go. And then sit and plug into that spirit. And I like to visualize that I'm actually plugging in. Plug in, tap in, knowing that that center of life is flowing through us like a beautiful vortex. That the spirit of life, that breathes us, is flowing through with ease, with grace, with love. And when I get into those spaces of just sitting in my comfort zone, because it's really easy to want to sit in the comfort zone, my sister is probably one of the best examples. She put herself through college waitressing. She got her teaching credential. She continued to waitress for 2 years after she had her teaching credential. I kept saying, go teach, it'll be more fun. Go teach, it's what you've trained for. And she's like, no, but this is my comfort zone. This is what I know. This is what's familiar. Because sometimes stepping out of what's familiar can be very challenging. So it's like pushing ourselves to the next level, pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone. When she finally did, what she did is she would watch every day as the school buses went by, and she's like, okay, someday, until finally she went down and applied, and they're like, could you start tomorrow? So, things happen when we finally get that vision. When the vision pulls, it got uncomfortable enough for her. It's like, you'll make more money, go teach, go have fun. She just retired from teaching after 25 years. So she's had a beautiful adventure. Now she's writing children's books. So finding what you can do. And I know coming through COVID, my sister is loud and boisterous. I'm the quiet one in the family. So I'm the listener, and she's the very big energy. And she said after COVID, just even going to a writer's meeting or going somewhere she wasn't familiar with was very scary, because after a year and a half of just kind of being quarantined and being told to stay away from others, stay within 6 feet, coming out of that can be very challenging. So I said, just keep loving yourself through the process, but keep stepping through the door. Because I was very shy when I was a kid. I didn't really go anywhere that my sister didn't go. And my mother used to say, sometimes you've got to visually pick yourself up by the seat of the pants and throw yourself through that door. There have been times that I just had to, grab myself by the seat of the pants and go through the door. Because sometimes those closed doors that we're walking through, I don't know what's behind there. And we can get into that fear. But if I know that the red carpet of life has rolled out for me, that wherever I go, there's love and beauty and wonderful people. Because like attracts like, right? So the more loving and wonderful and giving and caring we are to ourselves, the easier it is to know that that's what we're attracting in our life, is that loving, caring, people that are in gratitude. So let me be in gratitude. Let me be in love. I remember Terry Cole Whitaker used to say, really have that love affair with yourself. Take yourself out to dinner, somewhere very nice, and just embrace yourself and say, I deserve this. I deserve this love, this nurturing, this support. And so I was still new in Science of Mind. I was about 21. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take myself to dinner by myself on a Saturday night. And it was one of those things where you walk in, and I hadn't really gone a lot of places by myself like that. I went into a restaurant, and they sat me, and she's like, party of one, just one? And it was almost like she was letting everybody know, one, party of one. And then I go sit, and it was almost like a spotlight. And the waiter came, and he did this little kneel down at the table, and he's like, are you here by yourself? I said, yeah. I felt like the spotlight was there, but it's like, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to get through this, and let's take this to go. I'm just kidding. But making sure that we're loving ourselves. I had a friend that told me that she doesn't go to movies by herself because she would just be so embarrassed. I said, seriously? Everybody's in the dark. Nobody cares. I said, sometimes I prefer to go by myself, because then if I cry loudly, then I don't have to worry about the people around me. Because I took my son once, and I was crying at a movie, and he kept moving over seats. He kept moving over. So it's like, I still love myself, and I'll go by myself if I know it's a movie I'm going to cry. But finding ways to have that relationship with ourselves, love ourselves to the next level, have that good thought about yourself every single day. Even if it's one of those days that it's like, could have got a little more sleep. We can talk ourselves into a real mess of how we're feeling. Or we can just say, you know what, eyes are bright and shiny, ready to go. Gonna get out there, gonna give myself some love, gonna give the world some love, gonna have some great thoughts, because that 100th monkey could be me, could be you. So with that, I am gonna do just a little visualization treatment. And then I'll open the floor up for any questions. So let's just take a nice deep cleansing breath. And just exhale, letting go, letting go, letting go of anything that does not serve us. As we think about the little creatures in this wonderful crystal stream of water, knowing that this wonderful crystal stream of water is healing and loving every cell in our body, that we let go of anything mentally, physically, that does not serve us, knowing that we are strong and powerful, knowing that this crystal river of life flows through every cell, knowing that every cell is vibrating at a whole new level, a whole new light, that we see clearly, that we hear clearly, that our mind is in divine alignment, that we breathe in the fullness of life, that our heart beats to a beautiful rhythm of love, peace, gratitude, that everything is flowing through our bodies with ease, with grace as we step into the future. We step into each moment with love, with strength, with clarity, knowing that this wonderful river of life continues to lift us up as we stay in that gratitude space. I am so grateful. I allow myself to focus on the good things in life, the yummy things in life, the happy things in life. Seeing the divinity in each and every person, seeing the divinity in myself. And in that divine space, I know that I am wrapped in love. I am wrapped in protection. That as we uplift into this beautiful light of life, we just say yes, yes, yes to our visions. We go with the flow, following that divine calling, that divine vision that flows through. Staying in that gratitude place, I just release my word into the universal action of the law, knowing that all is well, that the crystal river of life continues to flow brilliantly through all of us. And so it is. And with that, are there any questions today? Questions, comments, words of wisdom? All right. I have one more beautiful quote on here, so I do want to wrap up with that. The person who can throw themselves with complete abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who can always receive the greatest reward. So I am knowing that we just allow our visions to pull, that we step out of the comfort zone, that we move towards the visions that are pulling, that we find the adventures in life that we love and that we support ourselves. Is anybody wanting a treatment? Yes.
I went on a vacation and one of the ladies that was with us, I went on vacation, one of the ladies.
Technical situation, yes.
One of the ladies that was with us on vacation, she's in the hospital right now. Her name is Gwen. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's for, it doesn't matter, but just healing for her and peace.
All right, beautiful. Anyone else? And I'll wrap us up with treatment down here. Sorry, for Denise. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like a prayer for my Aunt Judy, who's approaching the end of her life, and I just ask for peace and clarity for her as to when to choose to exit the planet.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'm going to wrap these all together. We have another one over here, Steve. Okay.
Oh, I had a treatment from you on Sunday, and there's a thing you do that empowers you to focus on knowing that you can get through things. So I didn't quite get that. I got the basic concept, but I mean, is there any way you could go through that one more time and
Sure.
and kind of, you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely,
thank
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, I have my youngest son, when he would think, he's like, I'm thinking, and he would always do the tapping. And I had read that if you think, you want to bring things more to your mind, you can tap here, or if you want to bring it down more to the emotional, let me come to my heart. So one of the things I like to do is breathe in the fullness of life, inhale. And when I exhale, I just tap into that divine spirit. We could call it the third eye, that inner knower that just knows everything. That I follow that inner calling, and then I bring it down to my heart, knowing that all is well. And if I find myself still out there in the world and not fully present in this moment, I can always do that again, breathe in the fullness of life. And I'm right here, and I come to my heart, and I trust it, and I know that all is well. When they work with kids about being mindful and in the moment, it's like, just be right here, right here, right here. Feel your fingers, be right here in this moment. So when we get into that space of just thinking and our mind is running off in so many different directions, we just want to bring it right back to our mind, to our heart, right to the moment. And with that, I'm going to do a complete closing treatment, adding our prayers. As we just go inside our heart of hearts, knowing that there is one mind, one infinite intelligence, knowing that it flows right where we are, right where I am, right where you are, right where all of us are, knowing that we are all connected in this divine cosmic soup, in this beautiful universe, as I speak my word and claim that there is divine healing on a whole nother level for all of our loved ones, for all of our family and friends, that the vibration of everyone in this room and in the sound of my voice can feel that beautiful healing as we wrap the world, the universe, in a beautiful white light. Knowing that when people are ready at the end of their life to let go, that it's done easily, effortlessly. Not needing to hold on, but to let go with the flow. Knowing that life is absolutely eternal. It goes on as we shed this skin and just move to the next level, the next experience, knowing that it is done with ease and grace and love, divine timing, knowing that our ships are sailing with ease and grace as we go with the flow, as we love, honor, and cherish ourselves, continuing to uplift to the next level, listening to our heart's desires, honoring our own inner voice, knowing that as we honor ourselves, we honor everyone. As Shakespeare said, to thine own self, be true, because then we're true to everyone. So as we go to that gratitude space, I am so grateful for this day, for this moment, for the divine healing, the divine perfection, the divine revealing of the truth of the I am that we are. As I just release my word into the universal action of the law, knowing all is well. And so it is. Namaste. And
The offering.
we can do the offering. And if Ruth wants to come forward. As we have our gifts, our tithes, our offerings, Ruth will come forward as we all read the giving statement. Thank you. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. I do know that as I give, I always receive, being in that space of faith and love and joy, that we can just trust life, trust that everything shows up. As Emerson said, get our bloated nothingness out of the way, allow divine spirit to flow through. So we let divine spirit flow through. And with that, I am knowing that it is the best day ever, that we go forth and sing our songs and take ourselves to to lunch and to movies and support the I am that we are beautifully and brilliantly. Thanks for bringing love to this space. Thanks for bringing love to the world. So it is. Have a great day. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Yeah.